We're back. Oh my gosh, it's like the next day. Bestie came over unannounced and we had a lovely time. But it does mean I'm not quite where I wanted to be at the end of the day yesterday. So we're just doing some MSQ. And I don't know. I told Ura, I told Halabali, if they show up, they show up. They're not required to. I don't expect them to. I'm just prepared, you know, because bookshelf in this. What is this? My desk is a little bit of a mess, and I'm not quite sure how it got to be. Some stuff all over the place that shouldn't be where it is where it shouldn't be. So I just need to figure that real quick because I can't actually move my mouse. So give me a moment. I would have done it before stream if I noticed. You are not allowed to be self-pitying about things right now. Okay? I just have too many wires because of my phone and my work phone and my laptop and my work laptop and everything in one place, because unlike the AI bros I work with, you know, I have expenses and people and I've had to run across the country multiple times, so I don't have like 12 million private spaces to put all of the random garbage that they seem to think that we need to have to log into AWS and manage some stuff. I'm in a foul mood today also. Like, is it even worth doing the complaining? Like, if you know, you know, and if you don't know, do you care? At this point, I don't think anyone... At this point, I think everyone just knows, and I think most people don't care. You know, they don't care that the vice president is going out of the way to, like, call for the murder of trans people. They don't care that the president is about ready to declare that the trans flag incites violence so that it can just be illegal now, which apparently is something that the so-called party of free speech just is fine with for some reason. Somewhere along the lines, that just became okay. Let's do you. 1750 for a dwarven metal ingot. Have fun, whoever grabs that. I don't know. So I'm just not enthusiastic. Hopefully I'll be feeling better after a couple chunks of stream. Though I do know what goes up here. Like, I sort of play it blind because I don't remember things perfectly well, but, you know, the full disclosure, etc. I played this game with my ex before I started streaming it. It's what started the whole play all the Final Fantasy games stuff. And at the time, I was at the start of 6.2. I was stuck on Scarmiglione in that dungeon, and then I never got further because we just restarted, and I've been doing this since. So, you know, we get there. We get to Scarmiglione, which is the start of the next patch, and I am actually blind. Well, as blind as anyone can be when you watch other people play games on the internet and you exist on the internet. Like, I know Wuklamada's coming. Like, I like to watch Squidsena as a streamer. Like, I'm like, hey, this Squidsena person's pretty cool. Allegedly, freaking brags about it. Voice actress for Wuklamad. So like, hey, I imagine I'm gonna go, hey, I recognize that voice. Kitty sent me the Fanelin for free, thank you. Fanelin Thavnair. You can tell I'm a little But like, yeah. I like that now. That's a cute little doggy. Look at that cute doggo. And its big teeth go meow. But yeah. So yeah, I want to be just there. I want to be caught up. I want to be able to go, wee. Like, part of, like, I know I'm going to be fine. The doctor's appointment next week is going to be, oh, yeah, you're still fat. We're still not willing to treat your hernia. And then they're going to give me, like, Ozempic. Like, that's what's going to happen tomorrow. I'm going to be, I'm going to be like, okay, here's that thing that I never was interested in being on. Glad that you put me on it. There's always the chance that they'll go, oh god, you're right, your hernia is bad. We should go fix that. Which would mean emergency surgery. Which, you know, yeah, because my hernia is definitely worse than it was, like, last time I did this. And I would appreciate them not being weird fucking force thin fetishists. Like, the way these people act, it's grotesque. But if things go well enough that they actually treat my hernia, then there's a chance that I just, like, die on the operating table. So I want to be caught up. Not, like, to do the fell quark, but, like, to say, wee, from here on we're blind. And then, yeah. Where the heck is this? This is not where I wanted to go at all. I, in fact, went too far. I just went all the way to Razatan, and we're not out to be at Razatan. So yeah, that's why we're streaming today. That's why we're doing this. That's why I sound a little, because honestly, after the day at work I've had, I would like to be laying in bed reading a book. And my hernia is acting up a little, but it's always acting up. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? And there's always the risk that I just go, nope, I hurt too much to continue streaming. That's happened in the regular stream too. And unlike the regular stream where I try to, like, lay in bed a little bit for a few hours before stream so that I minimize risk of hernia being turned on Mia, I came from work today, so yeah, and it wasn't a nice day at work. Like, I woke up this morning like, okay, I'm a little behind at work, but I have exactly one problem, and someone is going to have the solution, and I'll just find out what the solution is, and I'll fix the solution, and I'll move forward with my project, and it'll be fine. But we had other problems, and now I haven't moved forward at all with my project, and I've had to, like, hand over the emergency thing to someone else, and now I'm just like, here, Varshahan. Kid. What's going on with this? I expect you to have more questions. I'm not gonna do fucking voices today. I'm tired. Just gonna have to deal with whatever this fucking thing that I have going on with my voice where I don't wanna put any effort in. It is like, I'm not gonna drop my voice entirely. We're not just gonna have this. Because I'm not, like, it just makes me feel more, so I'm just like, here, whatever this here is. Tired. A brother's griff. Shoila is appraising the void gate with a scholarly eye. because she wants to touch it. We know, you know Ishtola. She wants to touch the Void Gate. She wants to put her fingers in that shimmering black hole.
I must admit, I am deathly curious to know how a Void Gate came to be hidden in the depths of these ruins.
To tell that tale, we must first peer far to the south, and even further into memory. An age 5 millennia passed when the Algan Empire sent an invading force to the shores of Merasidia. The southern people rallied around the commanding figures of Bahamut and Tiamat and fought fiercely to repel the would-be conquerors. With Bahamut's defeat, however, the tide turned against them. Desperate to seize any advantage, the Mercidians resorted to summoning primal entities.
Hey, we remember fighting these in the Heavensward raids.
In response, Emperor Zande forged a covenant with the Cloud of Darkness, sovereign among the all-devouring denizens of the Void. Thus bolstered by icons on one side and Voidsent on the other, the two armies clashed in a battle of unspeakable carnage. So much death, so much loss.
I consider myself well versed in that period of history, yet you speak as one who witnessed it happen.
Indeed, I did. I heard Tiamat's roar of defiance and sped toward that war-torn land. Along with my sibling, Ashdaya. We dragons are not male or female as men are wont to classify, but elder sister is the closest a mortal tongue can come to describing what she meant to me.
I love this. I love this. I love this. We dragons are not male or female, as men are wont to classify. But for each to just be like, we're beyond your mortal conceptions of gender.
I was the last of our brood to hatch, and Ashdaya cared for me where my sire could not. Thus I was with her when Tiamat roared. I was with her when she journeyed south, and I was with her when she fought against the Void-sent hordes. Yet no matter how many of their vile fiends we cast down, more rose from the abyss to take their place. Faced with an unwinnable war of attrition, Ashdaya risked her all on a final gamble. She plunged through the Void Gate itself to strike at the root of their strength.
That sounds like a bad idea.
I tried to follow in her wake, determined to lend what aid I could. But even as I came upon Alag's glittering tower, I saw the rift close behind her. And Ashdaya has been lost to us ever since.
Oh no.
I find I must retract my earlier claim of historical knowledge. Nowhere in the Crystal Tower's archives did I see mention of such noble sacrifice.
That does not surprise me. To Alagan eyes, it must have seemed as if a lone dragon, driven to madness, simply dove through the gate and did not return. For my part, I spent long years searching for the means to reunite with Ashdaya. Until I could search no more. Until Alag was dust, and the art to open a void gate large enough to accommodate a dragon forever lost.
Yet you have the beginnings of a gate right here, under the control of a harnessed device.
My discovery came before Radz-at-Han was founded. Though I scoured the lands for a method to cross the rift, it was beneath the sea that I chanced to find a natural planar fissure. It was, however, far too narrow to admit a worm's bulk. Only after our city rose upon the rock, and I could enlist the aid of our talented alchemists, did matters take a favorable turn. Their dedication was beyond reproach. Tirelessly, they worked to expand the fissure, and after decades of toil, it finally grew to a size that a child might pass through.
Not long ago, you told us that you called out to your kin, that Ashdaya's answer was silence. I suspect the conclusion to your tale is not a joyful one.
With hope in my heart, I used the simulacrum to cross the threshold. But no, I did not find her. What I found was a host of void scent, clamoring around the opening they had sensed. It was but a moment, but enough. I had no choice but to retreat and allow the portal to contract once more.
The gate was a threat to your people. You had to decide between endangering Radz-at-Han and abandoning your sister. And you chose the latter.
'Twas not that thy sibling scorned thy call. 'Twas that she was trapped beyond a barrier through which neither roar nor dragon may pass. Even now, in the desolate world of the 13th.
I can scarce imagine your pain, yet it was wise not to linger in that place. Too long a sojourn, and even a being of your power risks being warped into a creature of the void. You've seen this phenomenon before, when we stepped into the darkness.
When Nero turned purple.
Turned purple? Well, yes. His wounds had allowed the void's corruption to enter his body and twist his ether.
Yeah, and it turned him purple.
Had it been allowed to progress much longer, I presume he would have been fully transformed.
Then there is little hope for Ashdaya.
Oh.
Ah, no. I hadn't meant to. I speak only of possibilities. The scales of the first brood are extraordinarily resistant to ethereal fluctuations. They are the protective talisman's core components after all, and even the corruption I described would struggle to overcome. Of course. With the warding scale in one's possession, one could conceivably survive a stay in the 13th without being warped by its energies.
We're going to the void. I mean, yes, we're going to the void. I know this part.
Be that as it may, it is too late to rescue my sister. 5,000 years too late. And now countless others look to me for guidance and protection.
Poor Vritra. Poor Vritra.
So when I sensed intruders in the ruins, I came only to ensure that the gate remained closed. That, and to secure the treasure, of course. I wish only to forget the rest.
Poor old man. Poor old man. We have more unending codex. Aw, it's all sealed up now. We'll find our way. Stola. So they managed not only to expand the fissure, but also manipulated his one mind to gate. Astonishing. Is there any chance I could learn more of how this feat was accomplished? I'll tell you what I can. First, however, I must return to the High Crucible and arrange to replace the Guardians you so handily destroyed. It will not do to leave the gate undefended. My apologies. We were perhaps a touch zealous in our rush to uncover the vault's secrets. If the constructs can be repaired, we'd be happy to offer our assistance. It will not be necessary. Much as I retain spare vessels for myself, we keep duplicate Guardians on hand for such eventualities. In any case, we should return to Ratatan. I feel like I should be given some of the treasure at least as a reward for just wrecking all of those Guardians. And I know it's faster to teleport, but I was cleaning out my, if you could see my inventory earlier, I was cleaning out my glam chest after last stream, and between starting and learning about outfits, I may have potentially completely desynthesized several pieces of glam that I went, I'm not really interested in this, which are part of sets that all the other parts I'm interested in. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to go back and buy a bunch of glamour pieces that I just destroyed so that I can pull those out and make the outfits. But yeah, this is your public service announcement that outfits exist and are epic and awesome and cool. This weather is so something. Okay, now we get to go to Ratsaran. To the Crucible. Really, I'm not attuned to the Aetheryte at the Crucible? How have I not attuned to the Aetheryte at the Crucible? Can't believe this. Somehow, I've never actually attuned to the Crucible here. Well, we're gonna have to go do that. Before we proceed. That was the only place I hadn't. Gosh darn it. Well, it's done now. Hey, Varshan. Carry us forward. I promise we'll discuss the Void Gate further, but I must attend to the matter of the Vault Sentinels. As your instruments have no doubt informed you, the Capiculu has been reduced to so much scrap. Please bring a new one out of storage and see it's conveyed to this post along with some few lesser constructs.
The two robbers? Beings born of the Tower of Zot? The sisters do not tell me a blasphemy yet runs free.
Looking so ashamed. Hey, they didn't tell us.
Why such guilty faces? Surely it isn't you who are responsible for this. Oh. Well, the details aren't important. I'll see it done immediately.
Listen, that treasure map. I made adventure.
You thought the vault will soon be secure once more. Now, I believe you had questions?
Quite a few, in fact, but I'd like to begin with the gate itself. Is it still functional, yes? Indeed, which is why I saw it sealed away with a chemically forged lock and warded with my magics. Such power must not fall into the wrong hands. In truth, the primary reason for the vault's construction was to keep the gate hidden from the outside world.
So much effort for such a little door. That little door you speak of leads to an abyss teeming with unspeakable horrors.
That said, in its current state, it would only admit the lowliest of void sent. From this side, no man would be able to pass through.
No man? I think Alphino would fit, given a firm enough push.
Physical size is only one consideration. The true restriction hinges upon the etheric density of the soul in transit. And yet you succeeded in expanding this diminutive portal and sending your Simalcum in the 13th. Thanks to my brilliant alchemists. I should have destroyed the anomaly when I found it, but instead I bade them devise a means to control it. After much experimentation, they accomplished the impossible. A method was conceived by which my magics could manipulate the fissure and transform it into a serviceable gate. But the process has long since been forgotten. Once I had given up searching for its desire, there was no need to preserve such esoteric and dangerous knowledge. Thus has the gate lain dormant for years uncounted. Our own passage to the 13th was made relatively simple thanks to the Crystal Tower. An ancient mechanism channeled the tower's vast stores of energy to open a void gate, when bound to a covenant made with the Cloud of Darkness. Once that sovereign entity was beaten back, however, the covenant was broken and the doorway severed its connection to the void. Theoretically, it should be possible to reconnect the gate by forging a new pact with another void center. But such deals usually end in betrayal and death. In any case, we should attempt to gain an understanding of how the Bounty Gate. Now, if you could resume the search for your sister. As I've already explained, I put those futile hopes to rest centuries ago. My place and my duty is here now. I meant to ask, what prompted you to search for the vault in the first place? Throw a Stydian under the bus. It's all a Stydian's idea. As I recall, it was you who was chasing tales of undersea ruins. Ah, well, as you've seen, the fabulous wealth of the stores is quite real, if not its rumored origin. I'm afraid I must assert a prior claim. I've been adding to that trove for years, little by little. Since time has come to spend it, that I might alleviate my people's suffering.
Then we're of one mind. We had no intention of taking it for ourselves. Isn't that right, my friend?
Well, some of it for me. There's enough to go around. Your Excellency, would you object if I were to conduct a closer examination of the gate? I'll make no attempt to open it, of course. I owe you and yours a debt that can never be repaid. Whatever boon you ask of me, you shall have it. You're most gracious. I shall take full advantage of your permission.
Would that I could join you in my study. The Loporits would be anxious to receive my report. I beg my leave of you.
Bye-bye, Urianger. I must be off to Charlian as well. Mrs. Kryl was eager to speak with you about that request. So come back to the Annex as soon as you're able. Farewell for now. Yeah, after this we're going to have to go back and deal with Pandemonium. And then we can talk with Kryl. It'll be fine. I can discuss my findings once I return. You'll not be rid of me so easily. Yay. Oh, we can now undertake the midst of a new realm. The difficult part in all this will be deciding how best to put these riches to use. Will you lend me your assistance in these deliberations? Sure. Thank you, Gobo. Gobo and I are in this together. I'll follow her example. Woohoo! Plot elsewhere? And Linux sound glitches? It's different having played FF4 now. That's Barbaricia, Cagliostro. Scarmiglione is Earth. Fire is R something or other. I forget. I had R's name. I sensed the breaching of the gate, but it was not instigated from this side. It was thrown open from the other. I too felt it. Rare occurrence, yes, but such a tiny portal is beneath our notice. There are more pressing matters at hand. An opportunity is upon us, the coming of which we have waited for nigh on 10,000 years. We dare not let it slip our grasp. Yes, we must not underestimate she who bested the cloud of darkness. Even restrained by a covenant, the cloud was no feeble wisp to be dispersed by some flesh and blood mortal. Bah, let her come. I'll drown the world and watch this fleshling gasp for breath in her final moments. Your zeal is admirable, but forget not our cause. Think back on our struggles beneath the sunless sky. Remember why we cede not our will to fight. 'Tis time we set the war in motion and win redemption for our star. Yay! Sharing the wealth. Let's go talk about public services. Vritra, let me introduce you to the concept of communism. Shall we begin? If we're to spread the treasure wisely, we must first determine which groups would benefit most from monetary assistance. Some of my citizens may find it intimidating to speak with the satrap directly, so I'd ask you act in my stead. Gobo, you're to visit Akiali and Yelthamad. Speak with Mattia and his people, learn their grievances. Estinian, I bid you do the same at Palaka's stand. I'll be conducting my own inquiries at the Giant Skull grounds. Once you believe you've ascertained the needs of the populace, we can reconvene at Magaduta. Okay. We are, once again, going right back where we were. The back and forth is never ending. Whee! All over your experiments. I'm so sorry. we have places to go, things to see, people to talk to about whatever is making them feel not so great. I'm sure there's plenty of problems to go around. I mean, the end of the world was not very long ago. And it did hit Tavnir especially hard. Varna. Oh, Gobo, I was so glad to see you return unharmed. Finished with the boat, then? Mm-hmm. But we may have need of it later. Anything the village desperately needs. I suppose Kalza's loss hit us the hardest. I've been trying to find buyers for my fish, but although I sell a few here and there, it's so much more difficult than it was before. Everyone's still struggling to rebuild their lives. For now, we're just banding together the best they can. You're gonna do okay, buddy. You're gonna do okay. To Yedlamad we go. Okay, just a quest. It looked like it might be, like, something special. Guess not. Hey, Chuckmonger, what's going on? Greetings and welcome, traveler. If this is your first visit to Thavnir, you must try my special Armor Lassie. Its refreshing zest cannot be beat. What could such a wonder cost, you wonder? Like, normally I bought with 3 bottles for a generous price of 19,800. But for you, I'm willing to go as low as even 10,000. You'd be practically stealing it from me. I am not Estinian. Estinian, who is Esta? You're the one who was with that spear-toting fellow. Well, you can hardly blame a man for trying. The world may no longer be on fire, but we're still sifting through the ashes, so to speak. Just to spare me, we might as well have that ugly tower back for the few travelers we see these days. I myself barely have the coin to buy at local prices. I tell you, if I didn't charge the odd adventurer a small fortune for afternoon tea, I'd be scavenging for scraps in the streets. Well, times are lean, friend. Are you sure you wouldn't care for a slightly overpriced lassie? I would like to buy a slightly overpriced lassie. But the game won't let me. Maybe not 10k gil, but you know, I drop a grand on a lassie to help someone out. You know, it's fine. Hey, guild staff. Sup, girl? How fares the port? Well, it's in shambles, isn't it? The trade routes are open once more now that the danger's passed, certainly. But no small number of merchants have had to sell their ships to make ends meet in the short term. Add that to sailors we lost in the final days, and it's no wonder the flow of exports is no more than a pitiful trickle. If Kalzal and his consortium were still with us, I'm sure he'd have found a way to turn our fortunes around. Now that was a man who got things done. God's rest his soul. Okay. Well, let's go back to Razatan. Head up to the Makaduta. Report. Commerce is in the pits. Hey, Stinian, what did you hear about Blakistan? It seemed my spit on Vrintra's back did not go unnoticed. I don't take 2 steps before another Hanish local was thanking me profusely for saving their home. Ah, I got scammed. Hey. Hey, Varchan. Oh, my advisor's return. I've just made it back myself.
Why do you retain this vessel now that your true form is known? You could have flown across the island in a fraction of the time.
Be that as it may, the sight of a massive creature descending from the sky can be startling to say the least. And there are few places I can enter comfortably without risk of flattening some cart or stall. I know that feeling, honey. Big girl problems. Fair enough. As for my inquiries, the people of Blakistan were unanimous in their reply. They're surviving. Resources were stretched to the limit when refugees were pouring in, but they persevered with assistance from Yedlamad. From what I understand, they've always been an independent community, hunters and foragers and the like, and I was assured the jungle provides for their needs for the most part. Blakistan has weathered the disaster better than most, it seems. I myself heard good news and bad. The quarrymen were cautiously optimistic, having just sold a full wagon of giant skull to foreign trade. But such visitors are few and far between. Compared to our best years, the weight of stone leaving Thavnir has been light indeed. Our nation is small and isolated, its prosperity dependent on a steady stream of exports. We must identify any obstacles to the flow of trade, so we may begin working to remove them. Tell me, what did you learn in Akyali and Yedlamad? Same shit. They're suffering on the commerce front. I see. Without a dedicated buyer, the average fisherman must struggle to offload his daily catch. Which is why I believe we should first address the lack of ships and shortage of able-bodied sailors in Yedlamad. I'm reminded of a child I spied as I made my way back to the palace. His father lost at sea when beasts sunk their vessel. So many variations of the same tragic tale, repeated over and over. So many lives lost. Could open an orphanage and be like, yo, orphans. Solution to all of our problems is child labor. We have enough grief to drown in it if we let ourselves be overcome. There will be not. Gobo, Estinian, I'll consider the perspectives you've brought me and devise a plan to help my people confront this adversary. Come, I'd like you to be in attendance when I announce the proposal to my assembled functionaries. Let's go! We're friends with the King of Fantasy India, who is a dragon. Is he gonna give us a place to crash in the palace? That'd be so bro of him.
I thank you for your attendance. The riches the Radiant Host have retrieved were hoarded in Al-Zadal's name. A fortune I set aside for a future day of need. And lo, that day hath come. May it aid our wounded city in reclaiming its vibrancy and vigor. In better times, I would leave such a task to our capable Ahawan. God's rest his soul. Finding myself bereft of his counsel in the here and now, I will assume the responsibilities of mine office directly. Firstly, the treasure shall be sold for more convenient currency. Thence, invested into the trading port of Yedlamad. Our merchants must have their operations restored, their ships rebuilt. Commerce must flow once more. None were spared the tragedy of the final days. Of this, I am well aware. But an absence was created by the loss of Kalzal's consortium. And by filling it, we provide new means for our fishermen, our artisans, and others to bring their wares to distant markets.
And what of the children who were left without family to care for them?
That is a concern which weigheth heavily upon my mind. A simple gift of coin will soon be exhausted, leaving these young souls adrift on the fringes of our society. Nay, a proper solution is needed, one which doth guarantee their welfare for years to come.
Vritra, were you listening to me when I was trying to ramble at you about communism? I know it's a grand, dramatic solution, but maybe.
Thou hast surely seen how other nations rise to meet this challenge, adventurer. What dost thou deem the wisest course?
Idleshire's orphanage was taxes. Vritra. Tax the rich to provide for the poor.
I see. We create a reliable source of revenue. Let us put this idea into practice. A contract shall be written, requiring all who receive of Al-Zadal's treasure to commit a portion of their future earnings towards the running of an orphanage.
Vritra, how? How did you turn the idea of taxes into the idea of a merchant cabal running an orphanage? Vritra.
No. Such an influential policy is deserving of a worthy name.
Vritra, why? We'll name it after Kalzal.
A fitting candidate. Kalzal should be remembered, not as the blasphemy which terrorized Thavne, but as a hard-working and generous man who brought much wealth to our shores. Do any among you object to this proposition? Many here lost loved ones to the beasts.
In that time of strife, any one of us could have broken. Any one of us may have been taken by despair. When I think of Kalzal, I feel no hatred. Only a stinging regret that we could not save him as well. Isn't that right, men?
This bodes well for that boy. Mirad, was it? Perhaps he can cut ties with that shady peddler.
Then let it be done. Henceforth, this initiative shall be known as the Kalzal Foundation. Nabdeen, Thou art to assemble a patrol and ensure that no child in this city liveth in squalor.
Somehow I am not happy.
But see to the management of our funds and make haste. Our citizens must not suffer a day more than is necessary.
Dragon and man, side by side in pursuit of a brighter morrow. I'm reminded of Ishgard.
But somehow more and less blood. Do I care about any of this? Nope. Give me the money. I guess it's important to remember that Gobo Bar is, like, friends with a bunch of, like, is, like, the exception of you can't change your class in feudal society. And is, like, you know, basically in the upper class now, so she's probably gonna be like, yeah, we can rely on the merchants, just, you know, the warnings aren't going to be about communism, the warnings are going to be about what happened when the monetarists started pulling their bullshit in Ul'dah, and, like, an advice that, you know, maybe Vritra should be ready to just, you know, go for it. What I don't know is what quest do I want to be stopping on? Let me check that before we go too much further. Because I don't want to, like, barrel on ahead. I just want to catch up to the end of the patch. So I'm going to pull up my little list here. Gosh, we're still like halfway there. We want... Okay, we'll get the achievement, Newfound Adventure. That's where we're looking to stop. Okay. Bridging the Rift. Yay.
Thank you for putting forth Kalzal's name. Those whose lives he enriched will take comfort in seeing his legacy honored. You'll forgive me for not speaking sooner, but I bear a message from Archon Y'shtola. She asks you meet her at the High Crucible at your earliest convenience. Understood. Thank you. Y'shtola must have finished her study of the Void Gate. Shall we hear what she has to say then?
I will go with you. Your Majesty.
I thought the satrap would be too busy setting up the foundation.
My clerks have been well-oiled cogs of this administration since before Ahriman assumed the office. They understand what needs to be done. And I'm curious to learn what conclusions your Archon has reached concerning the gate's unique construction.
As you wish, allow me to lead the way, Your Excellency.
See, if times were not such, I would be making a deep state joke right now. But no, it's just called having a functioning fucking bureaucracy. If you have a functioning bureaucracy, then, you know, when you say, hey, do this, it happens. Unless it's, like, incredibly, incredibly, incredibly stupid. And if it's stupid, then what happens is the least stupid alternative that runs more or less the same vibe. Wow. Hey, it's everyone. Sup.
Right, here we all are.
You discovered something new.
I took a closer look at that device. I was able to determine how it keeps the Void Gate sealed, but not how it might instead be employed to expand the opening.
Oh?
For that, I would need to reference the technique developed by Vritra's alchemists, no records of which appear to have survived the intervening years.
We know this, so why have you sent for us? Have you learned aught of value or not?
Patience, good sir. One must introduce the subject before launching into specifics.
Shola gave us the hook, and now he's going to give us a thesis statement.
From what we understand, travel between worlds is accomplished by passing through the nebulous rift which exists between them. Picture, if you will, the moment you were called to the first.
Thank you for the university lecture, Shola.
You touched a focus of some kind to help the Exarch pinpoint your location. His summoning spell then channeled the energies of the Crystal Tower to begin your journey to his world. The magics tore a hole in the wall separating source and shard, and cast you into the intervening nothingness. In that place, the laws of nature hold no sway. Yet even through this realm of temporal and spatial instability, you were borne safely to your destination in the first. The feat that guided you across such an unimaginable distance, both physical and metaphorical, was nothing short of a miracle.
Then what of the many void sent found in the source? Who guides them here, and how?
An excellent question. Though there are several methods by which the Void's denizens might intrude upon our world, the rituals of summoning are the most typical.
Yeah, I do want to just, like, take a moment and just appreciate how Shola just code shifted the second she started her presentation. Like, this woman is professor. Like, we forget, I think, sometimes that, like, the bulk of the Scions have PhDs. Most of our friends have PhDs, and we're like magic college dropouts with a stolen gunblade. It's great.
For example, let us consider the Gargoyle, a creature of middling power. To call upon such an entity, the prospective summoner must force open a void gate. The portal lasts but a moment and is relatively small, allowing only an imp or other lesser being to squeeze through with their physical body intact. Our more powerful gargoyle, however, is too large for that. Creating a gate big enough for him would require vast amounts of energy, far beyond the reserves of any one mortal practitioner. Instead, 'tis far more common to bring over only the entity's soul. We had a taste of that ourselves when a certain exarch dragged us to the first. And just as our bodies remained in our world, the Void Sense physical form is left behind in the 13th.
Learning.
Once at its destination, the summoned soul is granted a temporary shell to inhabit. In the gargoyle's case, a stone effigy has proven a suitable vessel.
What about balls? I don't know that they remembered to put balls on these gargoyles. But they might have if they were
Wait.
summoning for sexy
You
times.
said that Voidsent must be called here deliberately by someone in the source, reeled in like a fisherman with his catch.
I see. Yes, those balls that are their souls. Soul is in the
Exactly.
balls.
For a being to navigate the chaos of the rift, with or without form, there must needs be a guiding agent on the other side.
And that's why everyone hates trans women, because we are on a mission to remove our balls and thus become soulless, like all women. Aha. Disclaimer, that is not how anything works in the universe. What the hell? Which I don't think I would normally have to say, but we're in that sort of universe now.
When the hordes poured forth from Alag's Great Gate, it was the technologists who drew them through. Though to my knowledge, planar fissures are in essence natural passages between our world and the void, which require no such guidance to traverse. Why is only the boundary between the source and the 13th so fragile? So much so that it often tears open of its own accord.
I believe solving that mystery is key to understanding travel between the source and its reflections.
And how do you intend to get your answers?
No, the danger is too great.
Perhaps. But what some call danger, others think of as adventure.
Adventure? Hi, I'm awake now. What? What are we adventuring?
Were you not listening to my tale? Never mind that the means to expand the gate has been lost to the ages. Even could you force the portal wide enough, you would be greeted by an army of murderous horrors the very instant you step through.
Can I murder them back?
I assure you I was most attentive. And I agree that to go alone would be certain death. But if I were to bring along one who has already braved the 13th and humbled the cloud of darkness, well, I imagine my chances would be much improved.
Bloodlust.
I had a feeling you might say that.
Oh?
Once again, I put my life in your ever-reliable hands. That said, as much as I would like to march straight back to the Void Gate, there is the small matter of being unable to open it without the Satrap's personal authority.
I have a gunblade.
As I've said before, I will grant you and yours any boon you choose to name, provided it does not endanger my people.
You have my word that we will take every precaution. Not a single void scent will be allowed to threaten Radzatan, assuming we manage to expand the portal in the first place.
You have a plan.
Actually, I had hoped you might help us with that. I presume the alchemists you retained supplied you with some explanation of their methodology.
That they did. House Daimir was overseeing the project.
Daimir. Ah, yes. The family associated with the great work.
I did not fully comprehend the theory, but their research began with a void scent which had slipped through the fissure. After a thorough examination, they created an arcane simulacrum possessed of similar qualities. A man-made void scent, if you will. It was apparently indispensable in their efforts to enlarge the gate.
At most.
A man-made void scent.
Yes. Being great admirers of the Archons, House Daemir submitted detailed notes to Charlene's official committee. They expected praise and accolades for their simulacrum, and were thus devastated to be informed that their work had been classified as prohibited material.
If that's true, then those notes might still be stored in a forbidden archive somewhere. Not Google, of course, since that library had yet to be built. Which leaves us with...
The restricted say with Raha's favorite place to sneak around.
Indeed. Numenon's restricted stacks may very well hold a copy. In which case, I say we head directly to Charlene.
Unless you anticipate needing help to reach the high shelves, I see myself being of little use. Go on ahead. I still need to find Mirad and tell him about the Kalzal Foundation.
Okay, but we are all kind of short and we could use help getting to the high shelves. Richard, do you have a
Let us be on our
tall...
way as well.
Do you have a tall construct to help us? No? Okay.
They are resolved to venture into the void. Do I sit idly by?
Okay, but you are like a dictator and a king and not like an adventurer and a magical sciences PhD. Like, I think it's important that you remember that Gobo's an adventurer, which is basically a homeless bum that has prestige. And Ishtola is a nerd. We don't have responsibilities. You do. Don't be hard on yourself, kid. Okay. You're gonna be okay, kiddo. Return to Charlian. I can just... return to Charlian. Let's go. We can do that again in 900 seconds. Hey, Stola. If we're to enter Numenon's restricted archives with a minimum of fuss, we must secure the permission of the Forum. First, however, we'll need to enlist the cooperation of a member to broach the matter. Who do you think might be inclined to assist us? No one springs to mind? What about Scholark Montaigne? He did come to Raha's defense during the inquiry, after all. Sure, Monty. To settle, let's head to Phenomenon and see if he's willing to help us once more. Ooh. To Phenomenon. We do have to go up there for the bridge. I thought so, but I was hoping. But maybe there'd be, like, a high enough ledge that we could leap over. Go unintended routes. Oh, there's Phenomenon. We can squeeze our way up this way, right? Right. No, I was lied to by a tree. Where? Charlene's got such great music, doesn't it? There it is. The Studium. Oh, and apparently, is there any other commentaries in the city for Stola? Because this is the university that gave Stola and everyone their PhDs. So she's gonna have commentary. So how was university?
I apprenticed at Master Matoya at the age of 7 and labored under her tutelage for a full decade. I've never had a chance to attend the Studium. Neither did Tancred, as I recall. Soon after Master Louisoix took him in off the streets, he was put in care of another Archon, who was rigorous in practical education in the arts of espionage and survival. I sometimes wonder what my life might have been like had I pursued studies here instead. Aww. Tea at the last stand after lectures? Oh, that does sound lovely. Afternoons with friends, spent sipping tea and debating theories. Still, I wouldn't give up my time with Master Matoya for the world. The dank cave I studied in was as far from the bright airy halls of academia as one could get, but it was a wondrous, magical childhood nonetheless. That's right, Stola studied at the University Annex in a cave. Basically an honorary PhD. And I saw your messages, love. I'm just like, well, I can't think of anything other than maybe you should play the game and then you can hear it, but it's okay. Bum, 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 bum. Hey, Monty. Oh, visitors, and quite esteemed ones at that. What may I do for you? Pray forgive the intrusion, Scarlock. We're hoping you might help us secure permission to enter Numenon's restricted archives. Oh, no furtive forays into the stacks this time, eh? I applaud this newfound sense of propriety. Yet, in all this wide world of comparative serenity, what so compels you to disturb a vault of forbidden wisdom? We're gonna break open the void and travel between the worlds. Let me explain further. Stola gives her PhD thesis explanation. Fascinating. I had no idea such a technique existed. I would have been surprised if you had. If my assumption's correct, the research left behind by House Daymare has lain dormant in Charlene's archives for centuries. And if you unearth this research, what then? Surely you don't intend to cross over to the Void. That is, in fact, precisely what we intend. To what end, pray tell? To develop a method of traversing the rift, for one, that I might keep my word to a distant friend. Sentiment aside, I've journeyed to the end of existence. I've heard, felt, and thought endlessly about the truth of our world and the echo of its future. Yet I want to understand everything, unravel it all down to its very last secrets. What scholar worthy the name wouldn't force open a void gate or two if a grand revelation was the promised reward? Marvelous! An audacious proposal worthy of Master Matoya herself. And after hearing the whys and wherefores, I for one do not believe you would use this knowledge for ill. I see no reason not to present your request to the forum's consideration. Although your petition would be better received if you also had the support of another well-placed acquaintance. Why, Master Fourcheneau, of course. You can hardly ignore an earnest request from his dear children's most treasured comrades. I was hesitant to approach him directly, but there is no denying that having Master Fourcheneau on our side would tip the balance in our favor. Very well, we'll pay a visit to the Levelier estate and plead our case. Yay. Oh, one last thing before you go. I consider it a personal favor if you might share with me the discoveries you make in the void. My appetite for knowledge is every bit as insatiable as yours, I'd wager. So if you could see your way to indulging an old man's curiosity. Of course, Skylark. We'll be sure to pass on any revelations. Yay! We're gonna go talk to the president. By which I mean the... I don't know, Speaker of the House, basically. That's basically Fourcheneau's job. It's basically the Speaker of the House. Only there's no executive branch, so there's, or judicial, there's only the legislative. Hello. We need to speak with Fourcheneau. Ah, Mistress Gobo, Mistress Stola, how may I be of service? We've come to speak with Master Fourcheneau. Is he home by any chance? Yes, the master's in residence. I shall inform him he has guests. Well. Emelians would invite you inside for tea, but I assume that's not a social visit. You've some matter of import to discuss? Then pray proceed. You have my full attention. Something voids, something gates. Something adventure, and possibly death. And I have a gunblade, and I'm not afraid to use it. Well, I suppose I should praise you for following proper protocol this time around. Scarlock Monteshane expressed much the same sentiment. I assure you, we'll not attempt to circumvent the forum's authority again, unless it's absolutely necessary, of course. Of course. You do understand that the restrictive archives are restricted for good reason. If no pressing need exists, why risk the consequences of employing this forbidden knowledge? For a brother who misses his sister. She was his guardian and friend, a selfless hero who crossed the rift between worlds to save her homeland from horror and suffering. But the brother has given up on thoughts of reunion. He spends his efforts elsewhere, watching over a people yet healing from the flames of the final days, loyal to his duty while betraying the longing of his heart. It is no vital mission, perhaps, reuniting these siblings, but it feels a worthy cause to pursue all the same. As one who feared losing his own loved ones, and spent years in research to prevent it, surely you appreciate how painful such a separation must be. Oh, goodness. Reflections are still very much a mystery to us. Offering to share your experiences in the first should constitute a fair exchange for our cooperation. Don't celebrate just yet. The forum must still be convinced. I'll add your request to the list of today's deliberations and deliver the decision to you at the Baldaisian Annex. And this request is considered more pressing than the fact that Pandemonium is just there? I see. Okay, I understand.
I understand. Hey, look, there's the person where you need to talk to for Cryle after we handle things. Hi, Elf Trudis. Let's wait their deliberation. So, what did the Forum decide?
To put it bluntly, Master Matroya has burned some bridges here in Charlian and salted the earth for good measure. When it became clear her student was the petitioner in question, well, no few members voiced their discontent. Then the Chamber was reminded, in no uncertain terms, I might add, of the incredible debt we owe you and your companions. That served to silence the grumbles and stiffen a few spines, and 'twas agreed that allowing you entry to the archives was the least we could do in return.
That's wonderful news. Thank you both for speaking on our behalf.
Yes, well, as I'm sure you're aware, this permission was not extended lightly. Forbidden knowledge is to be treated with the utmost caution, and there will be repercussions if it's not. I wish you well in your endeavor and bid you good day. Ever the same, that one.
Uncompromising? Aye. But that very stoicism is exactly what Charlian needed to guide it through not one, but 2 exoduses. Yay! That went rather well, I think. As a child, I dreamed up a number of schemes for getting my hand on forbidden tomes, and now I can simply walk in through the door. Our focus will be on finding House Demir's research notes, of course, with the thought of so much knowledge at my disposal has me feeling a little giddy. Well, Montague?
You'll be heading directly to the archives from here, I presume?
You presume correctly.
Then you want to speak with the index page when you arrive. It's been instructed to give you access to the restricted section.
Excellent. Once again, we thank you for all your help.
Oh, it's my pleasure, believe me. May you find the knowledge you seek.
Shall we? Rah! Do, 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 do. To the library! Everyone, be not alarmed. We are going where the books live. Yes, even the dangerous books. There's Pudding Way, reading about pudding, still. We love Pudding Way. Well? How do you feel about the library? I think the set of instructions I laughingly imagined may actually exist, but yalms away from where you found me napping. If I'd known of Azadal III's exploits sooner, I could have well saved myself days of research. Even a children's book might have pointed me in the right direction. To achieve the impossible, one needs to be flexible of mind and look beyond conventional wisdom. A lesson I already learned, but clearly not taken to heart. But, and this is important to everyone who's like modern day, that does not mean that you can make up whatever fucking bullshit you want. You must always return to the fucking real world. You know that old, like, facts don't care about your feelings thing? That's true, actually. Facts are facts. There's no alternative facts. There's just facts. And then there's assumptions, there's frameworks, and there's, like, value judgments. And if you get them twisted, you're just gonna hurt yourself and others. So, go beyond conventional wisdom, but check back with the world. Hey, index page.
Archon Ishtola and guest identified. Do you wish to proceed into the restricted archives? Yes. Follow me if you would. Watch your step, and please note that the use of naked flames is discouraged. As I am told to remind you, the use of naked in general. Because Gobo likes to wear less, but it's snowing outside, it's cold here.
If House Damia's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin.
Aha! Dangerous knowledge. And dangerous bookshelves. What the hell is that bullshit? Look at that bullshit. Journal. Today, in a world not my own, I met with the most beautiful void-born creature. She was so unlike her ravenous twin, eyes blazing not with hunger, but trembling like a candle's flame, threatening to flicker out at any moment. I wonder if she is even the proper word. Such distinctions seem inconsequential, insignificant even. All that matters is the love I feel for this exquisite, transcendent being. Though you're tempted to read more, this does not seem to be the volume you seek. No, I want the sexy, void scent porn. Where? Weighty tome. Leather-bound log. Weighty tome. In the year 1564 of the sixth astral era, the Allergy summoned Ifrit, their patron god. Accounts described the being as a gigantic lizard-like being with a potent command of fire-aspected magics. If we consider that primal summoning as an act fueled by faith and prayer, it's unsufficing, if not expected, that the resulting deiform entity should manifest the appearance and powers which it's attributed by its worshippers. What then might emerge from the aether should unbelieve it be an almighty omniscience tempted the same ritual? Would the scholar himself grace us with his presence? Should some other embodiment of divine sagacity? Could this man-made god truly be all-knowing? And if it were, whence would such knowledge arise? I myself have so many questions concerning the nature of the ancient world, with no spell to transport me back to the days of old, but I instead summon a being possessed of encyclopedic wisdom of every age. Yet with no means to verify its pronouncements, how can one be certain they were true? In other words, this is a book about how even if you make ChatGPT, you can't understand or evaluate the veracity of its claims. The following pages detail an advanced method for manipulating rift-spanning apertures, as defined by Nuhashan, the 9th Patriarch of House Daemir. We present these research notes to the facility of Charlene's studium as both a token of our friendship and expression of our boundless admiration. Ah, we found it. Stola, I have the book for you, and on the shelf there, the porn for me. You have something you'd like to show me, do you? My apologies, I flipped open but a single book and was completely absorbed by the contents. I nearly had that problem too. But this is the book you want, and I'll go read the book I want. Well done, Gobo. I think you found our prize. Go figure Charlene would make trans porn forbidden.
Yes, the ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Damir's resonance many times at the Great Work.
It's fantasy Great Britain for real.
Time to see what all the fuss was about. Among the ranks of the Voidsent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard. From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures, a talent which sorely tested the Radiant Host in its battles against these abominations. Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure. Our findings reveal that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which it could expand at will into a functioning gate. Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism. We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial Atomos.
Whoa. Artificial Atmos.
How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon Voidsent, has been discussed among academics for years now. Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales. And still, House Daemir went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive. It was no easy task, but at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer. See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves.
They have a whole section of trans porn over there. I don't see why that's considered restricted, but they have it.
Ah, but that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it? Better not.
Still, I need to have words with Fortuno about that. Like, you know, erotic representations of bodies like mine should not be consigned to the Forbidden Archive. Like, it's just porn. It's not going to corrupt anyone's minds. At least not in ways that aren't beneficial for society at large. As much as I'd love to start crafting the Atmos, I'm afraid this is far outside my field of expertise. Fortunately, we know a Hanish alchemist who'd be delighted to involve herself in our House Daemir project. Our business here is concluded, for the moment. Please pass on our regards to the Forum. Your message would be conveyed, should you wish to indulge in more forbidden literature. I will be here, patron mode disabled, security mode engaged. If anyone can help us, Nidhana can. I say we return to Thavnair and look for her at the Great Work. And I'll be back for you. My hiccups. Oh my gosh. Hick! Goodness gracious. Whew, that was a moment. Lana. There you are. Water. Ah. Ishtola tells me you are pursuing a most fascinating study, and that you want me to be part of it. I have no doubt you'll be interested. The research log should speak for itself. Will it now? By the sisters! This is the mark of House Damien! I never knew such a work existed. You should. It was sequestered in Nomenon's restricted archives, after all. It was? That means every word within it is forbidden knowledge. A forbidden tome filled with forbidden research, and you put it right into my unsuspecting hand? I can hardly wait to read it. We love you, Nidhana. Oh my god, you're so precious. To think that Daimir were developing such marvelous techniques so long ago. How many innovations have been lost over the centuries, I wonder. Now that you've glanced over the notes, what say you helping to build new Mach Atmos? I say yes 1,000 times yes. Work on a Daimil project that had even the redoubtable scholars of Charlian trembling in their sandals? No alchemist with a great work could resist. You're a woman after my own heart. Well, I suppose I should ask, what do you mean to do with this big-mouthed simulacrum once we've built it? We're going to shove a hole in it and go looking for something. So there's a secret void gate sealed in the ruins at the bottom of the bounty? Oh, today's a day of revelations indeed. The purpose of our man-void Atmos is to expand this hidden portal, and I'll need to see it myself, I think. Manipulating rift-spanning apertures is not the sort of thing you want to attempt without first taking into account every single factor. Then by all means, accompany us to the vault. I plan to lead us back there shortly, once we've finished gathering the components I require. Charlian's markets provided the raw aquamarine and pure water crystals, but I might need help obtaining a small quantity of astrally infused water. Oh, for such a liquid you need to go no further than the Font of Maya. The aesthetics of old once favored that place for their meditations, and the water which pools there now is known to enliven the flow of ether. That sounds perfect. If you'd be so kind as to fill a flask at the pool, I'll petition Vritra to join us. The idea I have in mind won't amount to much without his authority to command the Void Gate. So, shall we be about it then? We'll meet back here anon. Yeah, I'm gonna go fill up a vial of water. I love Thavnair. Thavnair is just... Thavnair is a really good map. A lot of maps in this game can be kind of meh, but Thavnair is just a great map when it's just with great like layer differences, like from the top to the bottom, and it's got these fun little spots, like this one, which is where we're going, the Font of Maya. But you know, there's lots of cute little spots. I love this. This is thus far my favorite map, I think. Let's go fill up the thing of water from the holy pool, because it's going to be dense in aether. And then with our etherically dense water, we can go do whatever it is that Stoll is gonna do. Hey, Ritra, what's up? Our controller requested I join you, but her plans, she offered scant detail. Oh, she hasn't told me much either, but that means we're gonna love it. Do you have the flask for me? Yep. The best astral aspected. What, I wish I'd drain your vial. You can always redeem hydrate. Hey, we're gonna get some accessories. Look who I came across. Justinian seemed in need of a diversion, and we, in turn, may have need of his lance. Right then, our little party's assembled. Let's make our way to the ruins.
Will we have need of Matsu's boat again?
Not this time. Once Ishola informed me of our destination, I arranged for a vessel to be made ready at Akiali. Your Excellency is ever the gracious host, shall we? That's right. We're not using a fisherman's boat to sneak in this time, because it turns out the treasure vault belongs to our friend, the satrap. So, you know, we just kind of asked the satrap to lend us one of the boats from his military. And there we go. Easy peasy. We have a much nicer boat now.
The ship is yours to command.
Our thanks, we set sail it for once. Oh, this is exciting. Alzadal's legacy. To see the truth of a legend with mine own eyes.
All aboard for the treasure vault.
To Weaver's Warding, please. Ow, 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 ow. That spinny mechanic was so silly. Whee.
The ruins alone were impressive enough, but I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
Nidana just like, hi, we're your head scientist. You could, like, tell us shit.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
What is it you're doing now?
There's something I wish to verify.
Oh?
The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance. Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater. Graha theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
So, this is an experiment of sorts.
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
Strap one to a Lalafell? I might as well go in myself. Yeah.
And how would you do that? The gate is still too small for any of us to pass through.
Estinian is correct, which is why I've elected to send a familiar in our stead. Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same.
Okay.
I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
Oh, what's your concern?
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born. Water, water, froth and fire!
Oh, that was cute.
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
Oh, that's just a magic spell, Estinian. Chill.
Oh, come now. That was adorable.
Oh my god, they're cute. They're like soap bubbles. I love them. Stola, do not look. No, they're adorable.
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate. I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual. In any case, these two should serve us well. This one will bear a warding scale. And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
Ah, yes, of course.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nadana safe from harm.
As you say.
You had best be on your guard as well.
Froth and foam.
Oh, are you volunteering to join the Nixies? I could shrink you down, you know. Let us begin, shall we? Nixies, into the void.
I love those Nixies so much. Oh my gosh. Oh. How you doing, Varshan? Every time I come here, it reminds me of that dark portal above the Crystal Tower, and the final lash of Ajdaya's tail as she plunged into the void. Aww. For being so mean to you, I'm sorry. Oh, sister, save me indeed. I'll never see Stola the same way again. Froth and foam indeed.
I struggle to picture Stola as a little girl. Easy to believe she sprang fully formed from one of Master Matoya's cauldrons.
We need to wait for a time to ensure meaningful results. Be patient to keep watch for intruders. Sure, not a problem. Waiting.
I think we've waited long enough. Nixies, return to my side! Thank you, little one. You did well.
Oh, the poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
We're out of time! I must reseal the Void Gate.
They're coming through!
Oh no!
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the Void!
I mean, they're just imps. One AoE slash would end all of them. But okay.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of Void Gates.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent. The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium.
Oh, yay.
Rest now, little ones.
Graha's theory was correct then.
So it would seem. But while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation. It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently. We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
Ah, my apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives. The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness. In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste, and made of that world a useless void. You remember Una Kalhai, the unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad. He explained the fate of the 13th thus. The champions of that ill-fated world used a stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals. But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Auracite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether. By the time anyone thought to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness. And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition?
Oh gosh, it's been so long. But it's purple. A lot of purple. A lot of black obsidian.
I can picture it now. The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Worry not, great Vritra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage. A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way.
And imagine if we get interdimensional commerce flowing. Gonna have so much tax and revenue.
Focus on refining the warding talisman.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos.
Yay!
Or I could if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives? Your Excellency?
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
We will see you back in the city then.
So exciting. I doubt these are going to be any better than the random crap I already got. But let's see. Oops, 60. It's 80. 149. Hey, you're better. The rest of you, not so much. I'm just checking again real quick. I don't want to go too far, so I'm just checking again. Make sure I don't push past the end here. Okay, there's one more. One more quest. A Satrap's Duty. That's the end of where the stream is. Okay. Yay. Once Nitana succeeds in replicating the Makatomos, the door to the 13th will be ours to open. Will you be crossing the threshold alongside us? I realize this is more my endeavor than yours.
To be honest, I have no interest in visiting the Void myself. Might we discuss this later? There's something I must do first.
Bye, Estinian. Why does everyone insist on being so secretive? At least I had good reason for not wanting to explain my Nixie ritual. Shall we proceed with other preparations, then? As we saw, the warding scale can be effective at protecting the bearer from other sources of etheric corruption. Nonetheless, the talisman's durability will need to be improved if it's to withstand the Void's influence for a prolonged length of time. And I think this is a problem we can address without involving the brilliant but busy alchemists who created it. Who do we know who excels this kind of structural augmentation? Garland Ironworks. An excellent suggestion.
As I recall, Sid himself is no stranger to the void and its volatile energies. With his experienced hand at the helm, I have every confidence the Ironworks can strengthen the warding scale. Come, let's visit their operation in Ralger's Reach and commission their best and brightest. To Ralger's Reach. Thank you for the free teleport game. Hello. Oh, Gobo, what brings you to the Ironworks? We have a commission for you and your president, actually, assuming he's available. Master Sid, certainly I'll see if he has a moment for you. Pleasure as always. I hear you have a job for us. Yeah, we gotta make this for the void. Into the void to find a lost dragon. That sounds almost pedestrian compared to your last adventure. Honestly, I don't know if you could say anything that would surprise me after Median and that bloody mess. Alright, let's take a look at this talisman. You said there were signs of degradation? Soon some manner of corrosion is set in around the scratch on the surface. Much as the void's corruption seeped into Nero through his wounds. In this case, our best bet may be to simply prevent the scale from being damaged in the first place. And how might we achieve that? We have a coating agent for strengthening trinkets and the like, but I'd be wary of applying any compound which might upset the scale's delicate alchemical balance. Far safer to dress it in armor. Construct a protective casing, utilizing metal alloys with high ethereal conductivity, so as to not impede the talisman's primary function. A suit of armor, as you said. Nero's compiled data on the 13th, so I'll have him pitch in with the design just to be sure. If only it weren't such an ordeal to convince him to follow our safety protocols. I swear I've never had such a reckless employee. In any case, we may need some time to untangle the particulars. Understandable. We know how busy your schedule is, and the final result will doubtless be worth the wait. The hard part will be ducking Jessie and her constant barrage of demands when we sneak about doing the fun stuff. We'll see what we can do. I think we can leave the rest in Sid's capable hands. Let's return to the great work and see how Nadan is getting on with the Mach Atmos. I'm ready to go to bed. Let's finish this quest. This isn't the end of it, but 700, let's go right to the great work. And next week I don't know what we'll be doing, because it depends on whether everyone's here. The week after, I have an IRL commitment, so there won't be a Saturday stream. The week after that, who knows? And then at that point, we'll definitely be back here. Maybe sooner. We'll see, though. We'll see how it all comes to pass. Welcome back, my community. Free from Bezos time.
Estola! The adjustments are going well, I hope?
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Al-Zadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components, and I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial Atomos. I then visited the High Crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
And were you not also fearless, heedless even, in your determination?
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ashdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm. It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side. She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence. No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
The Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Celestinian told us of your predicament. For centuries you have protected Rads at Han, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people. Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire? We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
I am grateful for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet...
Now you listen to me, Varshan! You are wearing that face, after all. As I have told you before, you are a little brother to us all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister. We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Your Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can be together again, too.
Sidian, this is such a heavy-handed and blatant attempt at manipulation. Will you wallow in uncertainty forever?
You're saying I should seize this chance? Take heart and protect them well. Such were the words I once said to you, and here I stand failing to live up to them. If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ajdaya nor Radzat-Han. My people, I have come to a decision. Vashan will depart Thavne for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention. I rely on you, my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Take care, and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
I would not dare make you cry.
Touching though that everyone's like, wow. Stola? You surprise me, Estinian. For a lone wolf, you've shown an unusual degree of, shall we say, involvement, helping Vritra get to this conclusion.
It was for the greater good. The worm's thundering sighs were keeping his citizens awake at night, and had travelers believing the palace racked by an unnatural storm.
Oh, embarrassed. Vritra, look at that. What are your own answer then? You seemed disinclined to venture into the void.
When I was one with Lidhog, his vengeful thoughts were my thoughts, his endless rage my rage, and the soul-chilling grief he nursed for Ratataska's death. I would not wish such agony upon a foe, let alone a friend and ally. If there's any chance we can spare Vritra that pain, I'll follow you.
Any other former scions we should call on? I'd rather not bother our comrades without less than a dire threat of the star. We four should be sufficient for our purpose. Now on to specifics. Unlike the first, where the flood of light was halted before its devastation was complete, the 13th has been utterly subsumed by darkness. My plan as such is to explore the void in stages, withdrawing to safety after each brief foray. It would be more convenient had we some manner of base camp nearer the gate itself. One of the palace chambers would serve. Come, let us reconvene outside Megaduta. Are we gonna bring the void into Razathan? Are we bringing the gate into Razathan? Are you sure that's wise? I mean, I don't mind, like, staying at the palace and relaxing and such, but are we sure that's wise? To the Megaduta. And so we will require suitable accommodations, that we make something available for our guests.
All the chambers are presently hosting the great mounds of treasure we carried out of the vault. Once the Foundation's activities begin in earnest, we can redistribute the trove and make room for a room or two ready for habitation.
Good. Inform me when you've completed the arrangements. As you heard, we'll have you settled in Magaduta in due time. As ever, you are most gracious, Your Excellency. You risk yourselves to aid me in my search for Azdaya. Providing comfortable quarters is the least I can do. I only wish we knew more of our destination. Gods only know how long our explorations might possibly take, or what our chances of success might possibly be. Succeed or fail, I'm grateful for you convincing me to make the attempt.
On that note, I'll return to the great work and lend what help I can to Nitana. If you've preparation to make ere we venture to the 13th, now is the time. All I need is my armor and lance. Perhaps I'll train with the Radiant Host and pass time till we depart. You know what this means to me, Gobo. My purpose need not consume you as well. We are headed to another world. Find what joy you can in the experience. For you're a traveler, an adventurer at heart. This I know. Yeah. Well, we've got at least 3 weeks, maybe 4, until Sid's ready. For now, determination. Oh, cutscene. In the 13th. That looks like a shroud. I wasn't a Reaper before, so I didn't recognize that, but that's the Enshroud glowing.
And thus I am returned. To be swallowed, bereft of sandals.
That's Newfound Adventure. Newfound Adventurer. Aha. Let's get back to Charlian, because next few weeks worth of stuff is gonna be in here for sure. We'll make one last check at the summoning bell for any sales. And then hang on to the materia because I can trade those in Doma. We sold something. Some rubber. Woohoo. Hydurium? Hydurium. So, I bid thee farewell. Let's determine if we have enough people to make it worth our while to raid. We do not, so go forth. And, I don't know, live, love your neighbors, love your friends, just live, okay? Don't let virtue be dead in your world, too.